Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash, double lines to the elders of GMS rule well. Peace, salutation like Akim in the four corners, percent truth, sincerity. Peace be unto you and Shalom.
You guys, you can switch on this thing.
I'm not switching. I'm going through it. I'm chasing. I'm not switching nothing at all. Look, I got Mark Jackson.
Move the ball ahead of the foul.
So in this clip here, what I wanted to demonstrate is really wisdom and choices and operating in this faith, operating in this body. There's a thing when you operate in this body, you'll basically find yourself often having to face tough decisions. You're having to make difficult decisions, and sometimes the decisions that you make, nobody else can really help you through. And sometimes the decisions that you make, a person can't necessarily give you the best or most accurate advice. And that's not necessarily because they can't, but maybe your brother hasn't experienced something particularly that you have not. So sometimes in this thing, you got to use your own wisdom. So you got to be smart and grow with intelligence. Now, what's interesting about this clip here, you got the head coach, Phil Jackson, and you got the best basketball player ever, Michael Jordan. Now, Phil Jackson was a basketball player at one time. He wasn't nowhere close to being the best, even in his position. He ain't even top 50 in his position. Great coach, terrible player. So he's telling Michael Jordan what to do, and Jordan's saying, I'm not doing it. And he's basically calling his number. And there's decisions like that sometimes you can make when somebody gives you advice or tells you what to do. And sometimes you have enough wisdom to understand, no, I'm not doing it. Sometimes people get lifted up and puffed up with pride. And it might be a brother who doesn't have children, who's never had, a relationship with their woman, and it fall out. And he's trying to tell you how and what to do and operate. Sometimes he can give you advice, absolutely. But if he ain't ever been there, been in that situation, he really can't give you advice. So you have to make it determine what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept. The part of this is with growing. Now you got some people who are counselors. That's that's the beauty of it. You got some people that are not counselors, and that's not their office, but they're trying to give counsel. So you have to use your wisdom to know who to get counsel from. Your wisdom to know who to ask for counsel. Because somebody can give you good advice or tell you what to do, and it can be great advice, but there's also exceptions. So if you follow that advice to a T in every situation, that might not work for you. Somebody can teach you how to throw a jab, but that doesn't mean in every situation you throw a jab. There's always exceptions. And what a person can't do and what they can't teach, a person can't. Wisdom is something you really have to learn from studying, from praying, and it has to come from the Heavenly Father. A person can only give you so much wisdom. They can give you the wisdom, but they can't make you know how to really use it, apply it. to give you a more accurate sense of what I'm saying is there is there's basically there's times when you'll be in life and you will forced with a situation, and now all of a sudden it's not in the textbooks. You got to figure it out. You can't go to a precept for this. You can't go to a precept and figure out how do I manage the relationship with my baby mother, and she's putting me on child support, but I still have to maintain a relationship with her. The easy answer is to, cut her off. In certain situations, that's not as easy. What if we're codependent? What if actually divorcing her will lead to this or X, Y, Z? There's so much stuff that goes into that you have to take into consideration when making a choice and a decision like that. So you really gotta think and use your wisdom. A person can't teach you every exception. You can't. There's another famous example of the greatest choke in Super Bowl history. Russell Wilson threw an interception on the 1 yard line. All he had to do was give it to beast mode, the best running back in the NFL at that time. The coach decided to throw it. He said throw a pass play. And now Russell decided to go with it. And he threw it. And it got intercepted. Had he had called an audible and not took his coach's advice and say, no, I don't like that, and let him ran it, it would have been against what the coach said. But if he got the touchdown, he got the touchdown. There wouldn't be as much complaint. But he he wanted to throw it and throw it in a tight window, and it got intercepted. And he followed what the coach did. I mean, he didn't make the exact pass that he was supposed to. I mean, there's other people he could have threw it to, but all he can do is give you the play to run. He can't teach you how to execute it, how to make your reads and stuff like that. That's what you have to know as a quarterback. So as Akim, who are younger in this thing, we have to learn. You have to learn how to trust you. You have to be able to see, okay, can you make wise decisions? Or no, you got to stick strictly to the playbook. You can't audible. No, I said do this, you do this. There's some brothers you can trust that they can make their own decisions. And when they are defiant, they're actually just using your wisdom and actually making a better decision, or because something happened, they had to improvise. And I know, okay, all right. If you tell somebody how to get to a store, you say you make 3 lefts and a right, then all of a sudden, one of the streets, it's cut off. And the person is so stuck on using the advice. Well, he said 3 lefts and a right. Well, I'm gonna look at you like you crazy. Like you telling me you can't improvise? You can't use your common sense? And that's just something that you have to learn how to do, is learn how to improvise, use your common sense, and use wisdom. Not every time that you see certain things, sometimes somebody could give you advice that's great advice if you know how to use it. Sometimes a person could give you terrible advice, and you might be not smart enough, and you end up taking the terrible advice anyways. So you have to really wisdom. You really truly have to pay attention. There's certain things that can't be taught. Okay, this is Ecclesiastes, chapter 1, verse 14. To fear Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, and it was created with the faithful in the womb. So when you fear the Most High, you're going to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and wisdom will come to you. As simple as that. If you look at the the prophets, those who are walking in alignment, Most High will pour out wisdom. They could tell you, okay, nope, don't go up and fight that war. Okay, go up and fight that war. All of that is wisdom. But that's the prophet saying that. So you don't got to worry about when a prophet says it. should I do it? How should I take their advice? Well, the prophet say, then go up there and fight it. There is no exceptions. That is true wisdom that comes and falls from the Heavenly Father. On that note, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Kwadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Rule Well. Peace, salutations to Lake Akim on the Four Corners, pushing the truth for sincerity. Peace be unto you and Shalom.